to the official PBS Kids channel on YouTube. PBS Kids believes the world is full of possibilities, and so is every child. As the #1 educational media brand for kids, PBS Kids helps children ages 2–8 learn lessons that last a lifetime through television, digital media, and community-based programs. PBS Kids wants children to see themselves uniquely reflected and celebrated in lovable, diverse characters who serve as positive role models, and to explore their feelings and discover new adventures along the way. Families can watch PBS Kids anytime on the free PBS Kids 24/7 channel and the PBS Kids video app, available on mobile and connected TV devices. No subscription is required. PBS Retro. For a curated experience of classic PBS Kids shows, you can find the PBS Retro channel on Roku and other streaming devices. PBS Kids website and app. The official PBS Kids website and streaming app contain many full episodes of classic shows. The iconic green characters, Dash and his younger sister Dot, served as the network's hosts and were featured prominently in the branding. Their names were made public in 2007 with the launch of Dot's Story Factory. Station promos and IDs were often set in a vibrant, imaginative world, with animations and scenes that reflected the educational themes of the programs. PBS Kids broadcast a lineup of popular children's television series, including several new shows that would become staples of the network. This era also featured the successful launch of its older skewing block, PBS Kids Go. PBS Kids aired many long-running classics, alongside newer series that became staples of the era. The schedule included a mix of preschool shows, after-school content on the PBS Kids Go block, and some titles that were also shown on the sister channel, PBS Kids Sprout. PBS Kids aired many popular and beloved children's shows, including a mix of long-running favorites and new programs. The lineup featured shows that focused on literacy, math, and science education for both preschool and school-age children. A wide range of older shows have been broadcast on PBS Kids and its predecessors, including classics from the 1990s and 2000s, as well as much older programs. Many of these shows are remembered for their educational content and distinctive characters. PBS Kids shows are available through streaming services and digital platforms, including classics like Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, Sesame Street, and Reading Rainbow. A dedicated streaming service, PBS Retro, also focuses on airing classic content. The combination .tn 1608 appears to be related to the DeviantArt user TN 1608, who frequently posts fan art and vectors of Dot, one of the iconic animated characters from PBS Kids. The DeviantArt user Teen 1608 has created numerous pieces featuring the character Dot. It is not a known product name or official character designation. Welcome to WJLPStory Kids Archives channel. You can find program breaks. The channel's active as a 24/7 channel from 2006 till now, for 16 years. This new program breaks will only be uploaded 4 times a week. Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, and new station IDs uploaded every Monday, here. And please note that we don't take requests. We don't have every WHAC DT1's DT2 airing in the world. Welcome to the official WJLPStory Kids channel. We at WJLPStory Kids Archives achieved to preserve the 33 PBS Kids 24/7 channel's history and documented schedules from 2004. Now, we know you came here for program breaks featuring Dot and Dash, but we're sure you'll stay for everything else not affiliated with WJLPStory. Please note that we do not take requests. We don't have every WJLP DT2 airing in the world. Hi there, Dot here with an exciting PBS Kids adventure. Let's explore shapes and colors together with Arthur, Word Girl, and all your PBS friends. We'll learn, laugh, and have so much fun. Come join us for this special celebration of learning. Hi there, Dot here with something super exciting. Let's explore shapes and colors together with all your PBS Kids friends. We'll draw, dance, and learn something new. Come join the fun. It's going to be amazing. Hi there, Dot here. Want to join me for some amazing science fun on PBS Kids? We'll explore, discover, and learn cool things with all your favorite friends. There's so much to see and do together. Don't miss out on the excitement, only on PBS Kids. Hi there, Dot here. I'm so excited to tell you about our special Science Day on PBS Kids. Join me and all your favorite friends as we explore amazing experiments and discoveries. We'll learn and have fun together, so don't forget to tune in. Seriously, I don't even understand anymore. Why are people still making fan edits, parodies, sketches, implore remakes of the PBS Kids logo? Literally, they make me say the same two words, those weird names. These words don't even make sense at all millions of times. And even me becoming a lot of emotions make me even more confused. I'm not even that scary, aren't I? Beep, 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 beep. Roadrunner, the wily coyote's after you, and if he catches you, you're through. In the year 2000, Dot was officially one half of the new face of PBS Kids. This was a major transitional period for the network, as it was the first full year after the PBS Kids brand officially replaced the older PTV block. Here is everything you would have seen from the mascots if you were watching PBS in 2000. In 2008, the world of the PBS Kids mascots was in a golden era of personality and interactivity. While Dot and Dash had been around for nearly a decade, 2008 was the year they truly felt like characters with distinct voices and roles. Here is a breakdown of what Dot and the mascot family looked like in 2008. The year 2008 is a very popular era for the Dot fan community, especially on sites like DeviantArt. Many artists look back on the 2008-2012 era of PBS Kids with a lot of nostalgia because it was the time when Dot and Dash felt the most like a team and were voiced by real child actors like Elsie Fisher. On DeviantArt you'll often find redesigns and age-up art. Many artists like to imagine what Dot would look like as a teenager or young adult, often keeping her signature green skin and pink-white striped sweater from the 2008 design. Vector art. Because Dot and Dash were originally 2D characters, digital artists used software to create perfect high-definition versions of the 2008 bumpers, like the one where she's in a snow globe or playing with Hooper. Crossovers. You might see Dot meeting other characters from that era, like the kids from Cyberchase or Word World. Fun fact about 2008 Dot. This was the peak of the Dot Story Factory era. A lot of the art you see on DeviantArt today is inspired by the simple drawings kids used to submit to the website back then. The period from 2007 to 2011 was a transformative golden era for Dot. During these years, she transitioned from a silent logo mascot into a fully realized character with a voice, a personality, and her own interactive world. If you were watching during this time, here is exactly what Dot's world looked like. 3. Dot finds her voice. 2007. Dot and her brother Dash mostly made giggles and boing sounds. In 2007, PBS Kids gave them actual speaking roles to make the channel feel more like a community. The voice. Dot was voiced by a young Elsie Fisher, who later became famous as the voice of Agnes in Curious George. The names. While they were known internally as Boy and Girl since 2000, it was during the 2006-2007 rebrand that the names Dot and Dash were officially used on air and on the website. 2. Dot Story Factory. 2007-2011. This was the most iconic part of Dot's era. Launched in 2007, Dot Story Factory was a website where kids could write and illustrate their own stories. The host's role. Dot would host special segments between shows where she would read a story sent in by a real viewer. The lesson. Each segment taught the beginning, middle, and end structure of storytelling. The interactive web. This was the peak of the Flash game era on pbskids.org, and Dot was the face of the site's creative tools. 3. The collage style. May 2008 update. In May 2008, the look of the system cues, the short clips between shows, changed significantly. The visuals. Instead of plain green backgrounds, Dot was placed in a collage world that mixed 2D animation with real-world textures like real grass, photos of clouds, and scrapbook-style patterns. Memorable bumpers. The magnet. Dot helps Dash pull a giant pea with a magnet. The snow globe. Dot shakes a snow globe that has Dash inside ice skating. The ants. A group of ants carries crumbs to form Dot's face. The telescope. Dot looks through a telescope at the moon, which turns into the PBS Kids logo. 4. Dot's friends. Hooper and the Go Kids. In 2008, Dot wasn't the only one on screen. She was part of a larger family. Hooper, the brown guinea pig who hosted the preschool-specific block, PBS Kids Go, while Dot hosted shows for younger kids, like Curious George. Older characters hosted the Go block for shows like Cyberchase or Arthur, but they all existed in the same bright green universe. In 2007, the adventures of Dot reached a whole new level. This was the year she officially transitioned from a mascot to a storyteller, gaining her iconic voice and her most famous interactive project. While Dot has been a part of PBS Kids since 2000, here's why 2007 was her breakout year. 1. Dot Story Factory, the big launch. The most significant adventure of 2007 was the debut of Dot Story Factory on September 3, 2007. The mission. Dot became a curator of kids' creativity. She invited viewers to visit the PBS Kids website to write and illustrate stories with a clear beginning, middle, and end. On-air segments. For the first time, Dot hosted her own dedicated segments between shows. She would appear in a room with a computer or printer and read stories that real children had submitted online. The voice. This was the debut of Elsie Fisher as the voice of Dot. Elsie was only about 4 years old at the time, the same age as many viewers, which gave Dot a very authentic and sweet little kid voice. 2. The mascot rebrand. In 2007, the name Dot was officially and publicly solidified. Before this era, many people just called her the PBS Kids girl, but the Story Factory and new station IDs made it clear that she and her brother Dash were a team with their own names. Classic 2007 Adventures. Bumpers. You might remember these specific short animations, called system cues, that played right before your favorite shows. Dot's cat. Dot plays with a green cat that transforms and interacts with the PBS Kids logo. The snow globe. Dash is ice skating inside a globe that Dot is playfully shaking. The fishbowl. Dot watches Dash swim inside a fishbowl before he pops out to join her. 4. The 2007 neighborhood. If you were watching Dot's adventures in 2007, she was likely introducing you to this legendary lineup of shows. Super Y. Premiered Sep 2007. Curious George. Dragon Tales. Clifford the Big Red Dog. A note on fan-made adventures. If you see mentions online of a full-length movie called Dash and Dot's Wild Ride from 2007, keep in mind that this is a popular fan fiction topic. While it's a fun idea, in reality Dot's 2007 adventures happened in those magical 30-second clips, and through the Story Factory website. And you to help me celebrate Friend Day, and a dedicated streaming's a lifetime. That's an excellent memory. The name Dot Spot refers to an area on the PBS Kids website in the mid to late 2000s, featuring Dot, one of the network's mascots, along with Dash. Here's a breakdown of what Dot Spot was, especially around 2007. Dot Spot, PBS Kids, circa 2007. Dot Spot was primarily a section of the PBSKids.org website that was used to showcase user-generated or educational content, often involving creativity and literacy. 1. Dot Story Factory. The most famous feature associated with Dot Spot was Dot Story Factory. What it was: a popular interactive flash games activity that allowed kids to create their own stories. How it worked: users could choose backgrounds, select characters often from PBS Kids shows, use stickers, and add text to write a story with the beginning, middle, and end. The on-air connection. The really exciting part was that submitted stories could occasionally be selected to be read aloud and featured on air during interstitial breaks on the PBS Kids channel. 2. Educational segments. The name Dot Spot was also sometimes used for short on-air interstitial segments. Aid of the Week. Short clips where the mascots or a host would introduce a new vocabulary word. A feature that was often used on the PBS Kids Go block for older kids. Graphic organizers. Some current PBS Learning Media resources use the Dot Spot branding for materials like graphic organizers, suggesting the theme was associated with foundational learning skills. 3. The mascots. In 2007, the Dash and Dot mascots were at the height of their iconic status. They would introduce shows and feature on the short animated bumpers that transitioned between programming, which sometimes promoted Dot Spot online activities. Are you thinking of the Story Factory game? Or perhaps one of the short segments that aired on TV? Yes, I'm thinking of the Story Factory game, or perhaps one of the short segments that aired on TV. That's a great question, but it seems .tn 1608 is not an official show title, bumper, or website feature from PBS Kids. Based on search results, TN 1608 is the username of a fan artist on the website DeviantArt. This artist creates a lot of digital art and fan content related to the classic PBS Kids mascots, Dot and Dash, and other characters from that era. Here is the breakdown. Dot. This refers to the female PBS Kids mascot, the one with the pigtails and red overalls, who was the face of the network from December 30th, 1998 to 2013. T1608. This is the username of a dedicated fan who is known in the fan community for creating artwork featuring the dot and dash characters, often speculating on different outfits, styles, and scenarios. So if you've seen images or posts related to dot and TN1608, you are likely seeing creative fan content that celebrates the older PBS Kids era you remember. You're through. Would you like me to look up any specific artwork or fan creations related to the classic dot character? Yes, I'd like you to look up any specific artwork or fan creations related to the classic dot character. This specific phrase is highly likely referencing a detail within the PBS Kids fan community and history, particularly regarding the mascot Dot. Here is a breakdown of the significance. The character Dot's official naming. The most important detail around this time is the naming of the mascots. Dot was officially named in 2007. The PBS Kids boy mascot was officially named Josh in 2006. And the girl mascot was officially named Dot and given her first voice actress Elsie Fisher a year later around 2007. The date November 21st, 2007 may be a significant anniversary or date related to that official launch reveal. Website, branding assets. The 2007 site. So year 2007 was part of the preschool destination era of PBS Kids, which featured the hosts Miss Laurie and Hooper, and a specific website design. Many online artists and history enthusiasts create vector art or image recreations of the characters, Dash and Dot, as they appeared on the PBS Kids website during specific years. PBS Kids. November 21st, 2007 likely refers to the specific vector image, style, or asset of the Dot character used on the pbskids.org website around that date. The date serves as a very precise timestamp for a visual element. Fan content artist reference. The previous queries involving TN1608, a known fan artist username, heavily reinforce this interpretation. The phrase is often used to identify a specific fan-created piece of artwork that replicates the 2007 era Dot character design. Reference a date where an artist made a notable contribution or discovery related to the character's history. In summary, the phrase is not an official historical marker for a major PBS event, but rather a precise identifier used by fans and digital archivists to label a specific visual style of the Dots character from the November 2007 period of the PBS Kids brand. The full phrase is a way for fans and digital archivists to identify a very specific visual asset or piece of history related to the Dot character from that year's branding. Given your previous questions, the PBS Kids PK.2007 interpretation is overwhelmingly the correct one. Since no direct results for a widely recognized WJLPStory Kids archives are available, if you have more context such as where you encountered the name, I might be able to find a specific resource. Given your previous questions about PBS Kids, this fits perfectly within the context of media preservation and historical analysis often performed by dedicated fan communities for older children's television content.